Welcome to One Belly, Two Brains. This is the opportunity I have as a pediatric chiropractor and a perinatal chiropractor to talk about brain development, neurological development, functional neurology, all the ways basically that you as a parent can help understand the development of yourself and also your children so that we can help maximize that expression. As a chiropractor, one of the things that has been very important to me since the very beginning of the time that I was in school was helping to understand all the ways that we can help support the ability for any of our patients to hold their adjustments. We have had a long history in chiropractic of other things that we've suggested patients do, whether it's nutritional recommendations, whether it's even like orthotic recommendations to help with the anatomical leg length difference. There's a lot of ways that we've really looked intensely at this question. And so when my friend Merrick came to me a while ago and he said, "Hey, listen, I've got these new orthotics." I got to tell you, at first I was pretty much like, "Yep, I have heard this story before, and you are going to not add anything new to my conversation, but I've got some time today and you've been persistent, so I'm going to listen." And man, I have told those of you who have been to my classes before, I will tell you that one of my superpowers is being wrong. And I am wrong a lot. And when I'm wrong, I always learn from it. When I learn from it, that's when I study it. And then when I study it, I start sharing that information because it's super important. Because of course I know all the things, right? Yeah. So one of the things that Merrick taught me was really the difference between the orthotics that I had come to understand. I mean, I've owned like several pair. I have worn orthotics for 20 years. And what he taught me was the difference between what his innovation is and the things that I had been either recommending to people or wearing myself. So really what I want him to explain is the difference between something like these neural solution orthotics with these neuropods in them to help stimulate the brain and the orthotics that you might see whether you're at a big box store or if you're at your doctor's office, and how this can maybe help you in a way that some of those haven't. So yeah, please.
Okay, thank you, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So there is basically a huge difference in neurological insert orthotics. Sorry, not inserts. Inserts, in my opinion, is everything that comes out of the box.
Okay.
So let's start with that. Everything that comes out of a box, even in those food store chains, is a mass-produced product. When you leave the shop with your insoles in your hand, then it's not custom made.
I mean, there's like 14 different kinds. That has to be pretty close, right?
Yeah, but there is not only 13 different human bodies in the world.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
that's probably
So
true, right?
everything is different, even our left and right foot. And another thing is with those 13 or 14 or let's say 15 different insoles is left one is always mirrored. So you never address all those individual needs of a patient. Besides of the fact that on let's say those insoles out of the box are meant to support the arches,
Hmm.
and that's basically it.
Okay.
They cannot do more because other instabilities and issues with our feet are too individual. So we have those insoles out of the box, and the next step would be a custom-made foot orthotic from a podiatrist. But in those cases, the podiatrists and the companies they use to produce these orthotics are focused on the foot itself. So, for example, you help with supporting a low arch, a flat foot.
Hmm.
You help with hollow feet. You help with ankle instabilities, and probably also with poor gaits like bending our feet outwards, inwards, which affects our knees and hips as well. But there is so much more that we can add on top of that. And
Right.
this is what we do together. So we also cover the part of stabilizing the body through our feet. But, and this is the most important part, through those neuropads, which are built on top of the surface of the orthotic, we can address other issues as well. And everything which has to do with how we perceive our posture. What is our body's awareness in an environment? how do we react to a certain surface we are standing on. And imagine our body evolved over millions of years. Our feet and our body is designed by nature not to live the way how we live today, because we changed our environment in the last 200-300 years dramatically.
Sure.
So our feet were not meant to walk on concrete or wooden floors or hard surfaces. So therefore we have fancy shoes, but those are mass produced as well and they're flat inside as well, meaning our feet don't get the information they should receive, and based on which our body is able to maintain balance, to coordinate itself, and to get all the proper information it needs for a healthy life. And so, with those neuropods, we give all this lost information back to the body. And based on this little impulses through those pods on different spots on the orthotic, which by the way needs to be custom made. Those those pods need to be on a certain specific area of the orthotic and individually left and right side and not
Sure.
just mirrored to achieve different results like changing of the muscular tension. Body reacts to the impulses through our feet and changes muscular tension, for example, in our calf area to lower the tension. We have spoken about tippy toeing kids,
Right. Yeah, we
for
had
example.
another episode where we talked about kids who are facing surgery, quite
Yeah,
literally, to cut the
exactly.
Achilles tendon, and how we're able to change that through these
Yeah.
orthotics.
Or tripping kids,
Right.
which are basically stamped as clumsy.
Hmm.
Now they have a complete different awareness of their body, and we can help with this as well. Different neurological disabilities or disabilities to stabilize the body and to help standing, walking, and increase the entire awareness. So it's not just about our mobility system. It's one part of it, but through these receptors in our feet and through the information that we send through the orthotic, through our feet to our brain, the human body has more postural awareness all over. And we have seen the results, which are really, really good. And this is basically what we do.
So, I mean, what you're kind of describing here is the difference between something like, driving a Buick and driving a Lamborghini. There's like they both have four wheels and a steering wheel, right? But the what is under the hood is totally different.
Totally.
What you've just described here is something that I was taught about. If you're going to support someone's arch, let's say, like I've taken everybody as far as extremity adjusting goes is in chiropractic, everybody from Mark Charette to Mitch Malley, and a lot of what they taught me was about, there's two different kinds of arches. We have to think about the one that's kind of the structural one, and that's when we're adjusting extremities, especially feet and that kind of thing, that we're trying to move into a good position. So we'll usually do that for a period of time before we even look at giving some kind of support. But what most of those do out there is to support now the good position that you put the foot into and not rebuilding the second arch. That second arch that's made out of the tendons, like a suspension bridge, the tendons and the ligaments and the fascia, and being able to help stimulate that in a completely different way. It's like you're exercising the arch underneath, but it's not even from a musculoskeletal, like structural standpoint. It's from a neurological basis to
Exactly.
change the tone all the way up that kinetic chain into the brain, which is the thing that really kind of blew me away. So, and you're the only person that you know of that's doing something like this.
In Florida so far, yes.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, we've got, he's obviously you can tell Max from Germany, right? And so when we're talking about quality of product too, there is a trope about German engineering, and there's a reason for it. It's because I've gotten to know him over several years, and the guy is meticulous. I mean, when we're talking about the quality of information that comes from the scans, understanding everything that goes into those 3D scans and looking at all the different ways that someone's posture can be impacted, I mean, he's very, very good at this. What he produces is an excellent product. I mean, I've been wearing the same set daily. I started doing it when I was teaching because my calves were just getting exhausted. But what I noticed also is that when I started wearing them, my brain was working better too. That I was able to get through my seminars after spending 8 hours standing and still have, still have my mind, right? I wasn't just dumping it all out on stage and then collapsing in my hotel room. And so what we're trying to do here is we're trying to get this information out to people because I don't think it's really readily available. I don't think it's really well talked about. I think those of us who go into, into body work like chiropractors, we're really happy to refer to other people if it looks like there's a good solution out there, but we can't necessarily be judges of quality because it's not really our field, right? And so I think that's why I'm so happy to know another expert in the field, because what Merrick has been able to teach me and teaches my patients is that really ultimately this is about how well is your nervous system firing and functioning? Is there a way that we can help continue to improve and stabilize that so that you can work the way that your body was designed to? So is there anything else that if you were, let's say, put yourself in the shoes of a consumer, of one of the people that come in to search all over the place because they're looking for a solution like this, if you could give them a couple tips on what they should be looking for to see if this is something that would be for them, what would you say?
So first of all, it starts with comparing what possibilities, what other solutions are there, and we know, for example, that there are shoe store chains that are selling products over the counter for around about $400. So first of all, I would tell all of them, because it's a fact, we do better and we charge less. So you can get a price or a product, which is more important. You get a product with a real medical and scientific background, with knowledge behind it, with an engineering and a quality that lasts for years, and both of us on top of it.
Yeah.
So this is the first thing. The next thing is always ask. I don't know if it's a salesman when you go to such a place, or someone who supports you and gives you all the information about the products. Ask them in which way can this type of insole or orthotic really help me? What is the science behind it? Is the left one individually produced for me and the right one as well? Or is it a boxed solution that I just get? But you figure out when you take them home after 15 minutes, so yeah, there was no time to produce it and to design it for you. How long do they last? And very important, what I also notice, how do they fit in the shoes?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, because we do also measure the different type of shoes, because as a number depends on the brand, can be a different length compared to a different brand. So you have an orthotic for $500 to $700 that you cannot get into your shoe.
Oh,
the first thing you start is
and
cutting around.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. With that.
So in 20 years, not one of my customers, patients had to cut one of my orthotics. Never. For a simple reason, I always take out whatever there is in the shoe, and this is my benchmark for sizing.
There you go, right?
And exactly, because there's another thing. When you have a too big orthotic, then the spots are not on the right side. So some of those semi-custom-made solutions are focused on the shoe size, but the foot is
the foot's the key.
Exactly,
right?
foot is the key. So the orthotic can be longer, but the spots still have to be on the right spot.
Yeah.
So there is a combination of such things which gives very, very good information about if this product that I think about buying could really help me or not.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's super useful. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you're shopping around for different solutions to help improve your health, whether you're like a CrossFit athlete who's looking to help improve their posture or their squat, if you're a mom who's in there looking at baby number 3 and wow, are your feet changing? If you are a parent of a child who has a neurodevelopmental issue and you're looking for ways to help calm their brain down, it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you're a person with 2 legs, or even 1 leg, you have a brain attached to that. And the way that we are trying to bring this information to people is basically to help you understand and educate you about the differences that you have for options. You have options. That's important to understand. And they don't have to be super uber expensive either. I mean, we are here to help people. And so what we're offering into our community is something that's, like I said, absolutely revolutionary. So I'm really, really happy to partner with you on this.
Thank you.
If you guys have questions, you want to share this video with somebody that you know that might need it, drop us a line in the comments here. We come to you on Instagram, we come to you on Facebook Live, and also on YouTube. You're always welcome to contact us at Mama's Chiropractic. America and I work very closely together to help find solutions for the patients that we have here under care. But we're also happy to accept people who haven't been patients of our practice yet too. I really look forward to bringing this information to you again next week. And until then, I hope you all take great care. Thank you very much.